Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I am out here admiring Cubfan's Dripstone Farm. Look at this stuff, it is awesome looking, and I mean already, what is this? Oh, it's not a beacon. In fact, it appears to be a discount beacon. Aha! So after watching Cubfan's episode, I now know who is responsible for the dripstone in our base. This amused me greatly. A discount beacon, but over in this direction, looks like there's actually a legitimate beacon. I wonder how high up the top of that beam actually is. Well, clearly this is a perfectly good use of my rockets, of which I do not have a lot of. I feel like the higher up I go, the further away it gets. Oh, actually, here we go. It's going to be around 1,000 blocks, isn't it? 1024, that's probably the number. Oh, wait. There it is. Yeah, what was that, 1040? Okay, what a great use of rockets. And it's actually going to take a fair bit of time to nosedive all the way back down. Didn't expect to be doing this today. Did not expect to be flying up above the world limit. Because I flew up into the sky, all the squiddies started spawning in this little bit of water right here as I came back down. So, I'm going to grab me some ink sacs quickly. And to further distract myself, I was also curious about what Cubfan would be up to down here. Probably just doing some instant mine. Oh, wait a minute. It's a slime farm. I'm going to pinch some slime balls while I'm here. There are many flaws to this thing, and I think you can't instant mine deep slate, right? Yeah, even if you upgrade the pick to netherite, this is efficiency 5 by the way, you're not able to instant mine this stuff. By the way, thank you for the feedback on the last episode. A lot of you loving the lighthouse build. It definitely dwarfs the other ones in this area, but all of this is just very spontaneous and unplanned. Anyway, we now know the culprit of who put this dripstone in here, but I think we should thank Cub because it's going to be an awesome decorative tool in this area. Anyways, that's what our neighbour Cubfan has been up to, and I want to show you what another hermit has been up to on the server. I've got to find the spawn chunks though. And this is currently what our temporary Nether Hub looks like. Someone's going ham with the buttons in this area. And the last time we saw the egg, it wasn't as beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous build. Also, someone's come through here and taken the original village buildings and kind of restored them with the deep slate blocks, which looks nice. And the villager breeder is still here, and it's being used. Although the ones down the bottom are not swamp villagers, which is kind of alarming because I definitely put this thing just inside the edge of the swamp biome. Okay, I thought what we were looking for was in the spawn chunks, but it's actually not. And it's off in this direction. We're going to fly over there because we should see an ominous square in the ground appear. What is this? That is a very humble looking starter home, but this is the square in the ground right here. I got to introduce you to what DocM77 has been up to again, which is basically breaking Minecraft, right? That is what Doc is known for doing, and I highly recommend you go and watch his video because I was fascinated by it. You can see just over there, I should really take a better advantage of this spyglass. Aha! Look at that. It's a monster spawner. And look at that. It's another one. And none of these were here at the beginning of his episode, I believe. He brought them into this world. There's another one over here somewhere. There are 8 mob spawners now inside of a single chunk. How crazy is that? I am also now activating these, and there is lava here. I think I'm not going to get any closer. So yeah, amazing things are happening on the server as always. Go and check out Doc's episode, it is a real treat. Anyways, a couple more things I want to remark on. I don't have a lot of iron. I really need to make an iron farm. There's just so many things to be done, right? But what I've done here is I've made some cauldrons. I had a suggestion to just put some cauldrons down up in this area where it snows. I don't know why I didn't think of doing this already. I kind of picture myself building a farm in a snowy biome later on. But of course, where the snow lands is where they can fill up the cauldrons. So let's just take this 9x9 spot here. And this will probably take a very long time to fill up. But once we do get some powdered snow, we can actually change our skeleton farm into a stray farm, and then it can drop diamond armor as well as the arrows. I think they're like slowness arrows, right? So I will check up on that from time to time. Also, I've been slowly expanding my own Dripstone Farm over here. And every time I harvest it, I basically just end up making the farm a little bit bigger. And look at it now, practically doubled the size of the thing. Let's now head underground to the villagers. I'm going to be building another farm for these today. However, I want to show you something really cool that I learned from my chat in a live stream. So I've been doing a lot of trading and getting some emeralds stashed up. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot of emeralds, but it took me a fair bit of time to get those, because we don't have the most optimal farms. But this trade right here, the paper trade, right? I shift click, and then I shift click out, and I shift click back in again. Well, what you can do is you can press spacebar on the keyboard, and then it recycles the last trade that you did. So I can click like this really fast and just blitz through all the trades that I want to do. So that is a really cool time saver that'll make trading in the long run just that little bit quicker. And speaking of trades, we needed something a little more efficient than our carrot and potato farms, and so over here we have a pumpkin collection system from an automatic pumpkin farm. And this trade is way better because, as you'll see, it's 6 for each one, so we can get through and get our emeralds real quick. But we produce way more of this stuff than we can trade in one go, so I'm going to need more of these farmers to trade with. If we head up here to the surface though, you'll see there is a new contraption in this temporary area, so this is indeed temporary for now, and we just saw it in action, and actually this is potentially a bad sign that there are loads of pumpkins there, although the minecart is travelling back and forth. Why is it not picking any of the items up? This is very peculiar. I've just realised the redstone that I built over here is completely wonky and doesn't work at all. And so that means that the minecart here is completely full up. And now this thing should function properly. Okay, so the minecart is going to come in, and yeah, it stops it there and it sends all of the items down below. So the redstone here is pretty easy to understand. We got observers, and they'll create a redstone pulse which will power the pistons that are around the observer blocks. And what they do is they detect the pumpkin stem when it updates, which it does when it grows a pumpkin onto one of the adjacent blocks. The pistons then break those, and the minecart down below picks it all up. And this severely depleted my resources. I have very little iron left. In fact, I carry all of my valuables around in my ender chest now, so this is it. That's all I've got left. We need to come up with a plan to get our hands on more iron, because that is unacceptable. So obviously we're going to use villagers to create an iron farm, and I was actually going to put that pumpkin farm underground. So over here, I've dug out a space. I then realised that placing all of those pistons and observers and putting in the redstone would just make everything a pain here. So if I dig this out a little bit further, then we can make ourselves an iron farm right here. But perhaps not. You see, there is a numbers game to be played here. We need to be a certain distance away from other villagers, and that's around 16 blocks, which is this block here. So essentially I'd have to dig out another hole again, right? However, iron golems need to be even further away from the other villagers and the villages that form in the game code, and so we need this thing to be about 50 blocks away. And so we're going to build it up on the surface. Also, look at all that dripstone. And the sheep seem to be escaping the pen. Not sure what's that about, but I look at this and I think of two things, okay? One is a flying machine, the other is water streams. I mean, water at the bottom will flush this stuff away, I believe. And then a flying machine could go through and cut this off at the top. For now, though, I'm just going to harvest everything the manual way. So this, my friends, is going to be way more than 50 blocks away. I'm playing it super on the safe side and putting it over here. And if you watched last season of Hermitcraft, this will look rather familiar. However, it has been revised. This is updated to the latest design by Nembomb, and once again he's made a fantastic video explaining all the details. I will link to it in the description box down below. If you watch his video, you'll become an iron farm building expert, or like me, just unable to take in the vast amount of information that there is. So with Nembomb's help, we got this right here. The villagers are going to go in this spot, then we've got the beds that they'll pop into at night with string and carpet above, and the chains actually hold them into place, so they'll always pop back into those spots. And we got them in the four corners, and in the middle is where our pacified Pillager needs to go. The redstone over here is currently, I believe, turning the farm... Oh, I've actually missed something here. Okay, so with the soul sand elevated, the farm would be on because it would push up the pacified illager, and with the redstone off, the farm would be off because then it'd sink down into the water. So next comes the utterly painful part of actually getting the villagers over there. I've really got no game plan here. I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. And do you remember the chest monsters? I've never been so happy to see a chest monster. This is a beautiful sight. Early game, I really do enjoy these shulker boxes. They make things so convenient. And as you'll see, there's just a complete mess of stuff here at the moment. I will slowly organise it with time, but I've decided to pretty much put all the items that I have inside of these shulker boxes in the ender chest, so everything is just a bit of a mess right now. I've used up every last little bit of my iron supply to get these rails together, which is why we're building an iron farm. But this is the plan, to bring the villagers along like this and drop them on top of the carpets. I'm not going to use an activator rail here, because although you can use it to eject a mob into a space, once that space is occupied, then you can't eject another one in. So once we have one villager there, it will be useless. So I'm going to drop all three of them on top of the carpets, break their minecarts, and then slowly nudge them down into the glass. And yes, it's probably going to be very tedious, but once we've done one, I've set it up so then we just push them on to the next bit, and the next bit, and then very last of all will be the pillager. And this went swimmingly well, almost too good to believe. I really didn't have any issues at all. On the second set of the villagers, I did have one of them nudge the other through the blocks, which was unfortunate. So it took damage, but we got them all in there. And basically every time this was just a breeze. Send the villagers over, break the minecarts, and they don't seem to walk about too much on the carpets, so it's easy to nudge them in. And so all four of these came together really well, and it was pretty much easy peasy. But then it was the pillager, which I had to go grab from the base, get in a boat, swim his way over to a temporary netherrack, minecart line, whatever you want to call it. And wrangling this guy up here was also kind of easy. And then getting him into the final bit, I did have a bit of an issue. You see, I actually forgot to place a couple of blocks down the bottom there, and that meant that this thing sunk under the fence posts that we had. But eventually I managed to sort it out, and this thing is working, as evidence of the Iron Golem, which is actually outside of where it needs to be. It needs to be in the water. And yes, I'm standing on a lightning rod. We did this during a live stream, so if you want to see the whole process like it were a bonus episode of Hermitcraft, it's over on my second channel. Actually, it might not be uploaded when this video is here. I don't know. It'll be there soon. But yeah, I had a suggestion in chat to put down a lightning rod. So if lightning strikes in the area, it's going to hit this thing instead. I think I'm going to put one over on the other side as well. And eventually, one day, this thing will be surrounded by a build of some sort. But as you can see, we have a problem. I've had these iron golems spawning outside of the farm. And not just over here where the blocks are closer to the thing, but also on that side down there. So I'm going to need to clear some space around it. And I thought the way this thing worked meant that you didn't, but obviously I've got that wrong. And another thing here that needs changing is the killing chamber. This thing's probably not low down enough for more iron golems to spawn. But it's pretty simple. We've got water streams, and then there's a lava source here, and you know, they get pushed into it so they take damage. And the drops end up in here, and as you can see, not a lot of iron so far. This is the solution. Buttons. Buttons everywhere. I think the range at which the golem looks to spawn is about 8 blocks away from the villagers. And rather than fill in or dig out all of this space, if I cover it with redstone blocks, which buttons are, should prevent the golems from spawning. I also think that they might be able to spawn down in this space, so I will eventually fill that in as well. But now if I kill a couple of golems that are roaming around in this area, aha, they've already wandered off into caves, which is very bad. We don't want them in here. And I totally played that one incorrectly. Oh no. Okay, I can jump in a boat and get over there and get my items back, right? Okay, this guy ain't gonna be angry at me still, right? Doesn't look like he's interested. Well, I've gotten everything back now, so let's try that again. Yeah, maybe I should just use my bow. Keep him at a distance. Well, I've been placing blocks like this for a few minutes, and I am constantly hearing iron golems on the other side spawning and dying. So I think we've sussed it out, and this farm is now good. So after an AFK session, lots of iron, but then a couple of iron golems on the outside. So maybe they can like spawn over here, and there's such a low chance that it keeps the farm going for a while. I also went and put some buttons closer into the wall as well, just in case that was it. And look at this. The iron is rolling in, and that makes me very, very happy. So next we're going to use this iron to do something a little bit unexpected maybe. We're going to explore the armorer's trades, and the armorer has something amazing, which is enchanted diamond gear, which you can then disenchant with the grindstone and put whatever you want on it, right? A lot of this stuff though has been made redundant over time with the introduction of mending. There is less of a need for diamonds and the ability to replenish your armor, but I thought it'd be cool to get our hands on this stuff anyway. So if we go and put down a blast furnace, then one of the trades we should see straight away is that of coal. But you're being stubborn. Hey, there we go. Ah, well, we can just reset it. There we go. Now, the reason we might want to use this trade is because it actually gets double the experience points. Now, you might be thinking I've got a lot of emeralds here to spend, but here's the thing. You actually get double the experience points for coal, so it's going to be quicker to level this one up to the next level. But then it's another roll of the dice to see if we get the iron trade. Ah, we didn't get it. You see, the iron trade would have given us double the XP again. But you know what? I think I'll just take this. Not that I need tons of chainmail boots. So I could have gotten a bad roll on this next trade, because this is only half the amount of XP that a lava bucket offers. I'm wondering if it takes... yeah, it actually takes the whole bucket. But because we now got the iron, I went and filled up an entire shulker box. And now that this guy becomes an expert, we should see the good stuff. Look at that. Now, oh, feather falling. That's actually really good. A lot of hermits would be after that. We need to figure out something we're going to do with the shops real soon. But yeah, this is... oh, there you are. This is a swoop right here. I don't think it gets a lot of XP though. So it'll take quite a few trades to get it to the next level. But if I want to, I can just give it more lava buckets. And that is what I decided to do. So look at this. We now have ourselves the ability to trade for diamond armor pieces, which is fantastic. So we've got more fun stuff to do with the villagers, but I've got something here. I didn't really know where to put this in the video, so let's just put it in now. This is from the Hermitcraft livestream weekend. What I did for our stream torch, which we passed from hermit to hermit, is actually create a shulker box full of goodies and then see who would pick what. There was like a mending book in here, a really good pick, an ender chest, some shulker shells and an elytra. And if I can get the list of who picked what, it'll be edited on the screen. I thought that was an interesting little experiment that we could do in this live stream. And I guess whoever was last got to keep the shulker box. Anyway, we're going to do one more thing with the villagers this episode. I just wanted to experiment and see if I've traded with this one, because it's not losing its trades. I'm guessing that is so. So anyway, we want more of these farmer villagers. We've got a few that we're going to bring over to a new area. And this is just past where we used to pick up the pumpkins. This thing has produced way too many, and look, it keeps spitting them out all the time. Now what I'm going to do is redirect that so that it drops it into the middle of this space, and then we can kind of trade with a whole bunch of them that are standing, just so we can turn and then interact with them. And not the best of trades, but you know what, I'll exchange some emeralds here because I can use the bread for breeding, and it means I don't have to go harvest our wheat farms or fields again. So it's not the best of trades, you know, I don't really have a lot of beetroots, but the bread I can use for breeding, so I'll go ahead and do this one. And then you didn't unlock the pumpkin trade, which means that you're useless. And we got another one here that's cheesed me. Look, this guy's got identical trades. Ah, the carrot trade is so much better, and now we've unlocked another pumpkin trader. But these two are going to have to go, and this means that sadly, we're going to have to build a villager removal system. How many villagers do you count? I think there was about 8 or 9 of them over here. They've all been put over here to be taken away. These are the ones with the dud trades that we weren't after. And it took me a while to go through them, but look at this. We've now got 6 of them that do the pumpkin trade. Now the pumpkins, they fall from above. There's a hopper below this moss carpet, and then we've got a chest here full of pumpkins. We can shimmy into our inventory, and if I stand in the right spot, I can go around in a circle and do a whole bunch of trades. And so in one go, almost a stack of emeralds. This one didn't restock, which I find kind of odd. All the other ones had. So anyway, that is our cheap and easy emerald maker, and this is our villager disposal system. It's about 50 blocks away from the other villagers, which should mean they're not part of the same village and there's no negative effect here. So we're going to nudge you, and off you go, buddy. I'm sorry. It had to be done. Oh! Oh, what happened there? Dang, he's deceived us. I think what I needed to do was put the lava down lower because the minecart hit it and then this guy didn't fall into the lava. Sorry, dude. It's not my fault. I didn't punch you. I had nothing to do with this. Oh, there is something magical about this spyglass, right? And oh dear. If you're worried about the minecarts, well, now that we've got the iron farm, this stuff is basically disposable. Looks like we've got a little blockage down the end here. Come on. Into the fire pit, don't be shy. And a quick check with the closest villagers nearby. Their trading prices haven't changed, so I think that works out just fine and it didn't negatively affect these. Hey look, these other ones have restocked and this one still hasn't, which is kind of concerning. Maybe if I just replace this, that might fix it. And there we go, that fixed it. So now we've got a terrific source of emeralds coming in here, and there's still so much more we can do with the villagers and exploit them for, and we will be doing that in the next few episodes, among other things. But right now I wanted to let you know, after this video goes out, I'll be streaming in the evening as part of Hermits Helping Hermits. If you want to catch that, go and check the link to my Twitch channel in the description box down below. So it has been a wonderfully productive episode, setting up two very important farms, one of which I can just about see from over here. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to leave a like. Thanks as always for the support, peeps, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye bye.